orgasmic enlightenment, where the sexual and spiritual come together. I'm Kim Anami, and I'm a holistic sex and relationship coach and a vaginal weightlifter. In this show, we explore all things intimate. I believe that our sexual energy is life force, creative energy, and we can use it to shape our worlds, strengthen our relationships, and self-actualize. I blend the most avant-garde information from neuroscience, ancient sexual practices like Tantra and Taoism, to renegade wellness modalities to show you how to create gourmet sex in your lives. Come one, come all. How to give a divine Lingam massage. The purpose of Lingam massage is to awaken the true power of your man's cock. We want him to own and inhabit it, amplifying his capacity for pleasure and yours. Then he can penetrate you with it, bringing both of you to ecstasy and obliterating you to smithereens with an awakened and self-actualized cock. Through skilled Lingam massage, you can release long-held tension and trauma. Years of unresolved stuff can be stored in our reproductive organs. Loving massage helps us to let it go. Eliminate numbness. Everything from circumcision trauma to sexual abuse can impact sensitivity. Radically increase pleasure and sensation. Make his cock grow larger, because what you focus on grows. Help him to own and occupy his masculine power. After all, our genitals are the essence of who we are. As we step into and enliven them, we become more of our true selves. Access his vulnerability, opening him to deeper states. Build trust and connection. As he opens to you and feels held and adored, he'll be able to take down his walls and live in a more open state. Reduce premature ejaculation. PE is born out of a fear of intimacy and staying for a while. With this prolonged exposure, he learns that he can take more and more pleasure and realize it's safe to do so. Build stronger, longer-lasting erections. With increased cock consciousness comes more powerful erections and ultimately more powerful orgasms. Can Lingam massage really do all that? Yes, and then some. Lingam massage can be totally transformational for your partner and your relationship. Before we get into techniques, let me address the difference between Lingam massage and a hand job. Even though an exquisitely executed hand job may have love and adoration in it, the main goal is to bring your partner to orgasm. In a Lingam massage, we're aiming to open, awaken, activate, heal, release tension and trauma, all of which will ultimately lead to deeper and more pleasurable orgasms. But we do this through a de-armoring of the cock, restoring it to its original state of pleasure. A man may get to orgasm in the process, but it's not the main goal. Your conscious attention and desire to activate and empower his cock are. Here are the essential elements you need for a divine Lingam massage and some ecstatic techniques to get you there. Sensual massage oil. For any kind of genital massage, you want something glidey and smooth. I recommend our sensual massage oil from the Anami Alchemia online shop, which includes a variety of aphrodisiac herbs and scents. Later this year, I'll be coming out with a cock massage oil, so look out for that. Reverence. Treat his cock like a temple you are worshiping at. You are equal parts humble, in service, adoring, and holding space for him, present with your full attention and focus. Channel all of your consciousness into the moment. Your total openness to and acceptance of him allows him to be vulnerable and access parts of himself he may normally never get to. Flow like a dance. Rather than thinking of each stroke as a step-by-step exercise, open yourself to the glory of cock and your love for it. Join your movements together seamlessly and imagine your whole massage-giving experience to be a dance and a flow. Make eye contact throughout with your partner. You'll keep them conscious and present, and you'll transmit energy between you. It's also very vulnerable and erotic. Love every millimeter of him. Aim to make contact with every inch, every millimeter of surface area of his cock, testicles, pelvis, and thighs multiple times. Every time you do this, you'll be channeling love and attention and awakening to these areas. Tease and build him up. Before you go straight for the gusto and even touch his cock or testicles, dance all around them, massaging his inner thighs, groin, pelvis, and belly. You'll open up the energy meridians to release tension in his cock and balls so that it can be more easily disseminated. And you will drive him wild with anticipation. After you've spent a lengthy amount of time dancing in close, but not too close, then you can approach his balls. Testicle massage. Stimulating his balls boosts testosterone production and activates the reflexology points for the pineal and pituitary glands, the glands of bliss. Use feather light to light massage strokes, wrapping around them, caressing them, which you can alternate with ultra light fingernail scratches. Inhale him and get high and aroused from his scent and pheromones. Kiss and tease it out. Brush and kiss him with your lips, dusting your fingers ever so lightly up and down his shaft. Drag your face and your chin back and forth, giving him a variety of different touch sensations. Shafted. Gently grasp the base of his cock, making circular motions all along the bottom, pressing into the skin around the base. Vary the strokes and use your finger pads to palpate, massaging out any tension you feel. Use circular motions to glide around the entire circumference of his cock. Vary your vertical strokes. Use both hands starting from the base and undulate your way up to the head. Go up on the left and the right, front and back, and every section in between. You can trail your fingers back down on the descent. Use the palms of your hands or a few fingers or your fingertips to change the sensation, all the while moving energy from the base to the tip. Spiral up. Use slow spiraling motions with your palms, fingers, or fingertips, covering the entire surface area of his cock. And remember to pause every once in a while to admire him and make eye contact. Love it with your whole body and being. As you stroke him with your hands and forearms, bring your whole body into the touch, undulating and curving your back and your arms in tune with your hand rhythms. Let it take you over. Head games. Circle his head, dancing around his crown with light, delicate, loving strokes. Use circular motions to move and distribute this energy. Draw the energy up. Use your hands and breath to visualize waves moving the energy upwards and out. You'll release stagnation, cleansing the old and infusing with the new. Anointed with love. As you give him the cock massage of a lifetime, he may be aroused enough to ejaculate. All of the loving, reverent energy you've put into your massage will be infused into his fluids. Accept it with total surrender as the divine nectar, bliss, and medicine that it is for you. In this all-star interview, Paul and Tanya share their experiences of Lingam massage. They also talk about what I call the aphrodisiac of truth, which is what I describe in my work as the ultimate stripping away of our defenses and white lies and sins of omission together. This became a pivotal concept in working with me, this coming clean about a variety of things between them. We also see this reflected in the genitals as we remove the debris and the accumulated barriers through loving genital massage. We expose the true form and its function beneath all of that, and the true self emerges. Speaking of true selves, we also touched on the 4 entities in a relationship: me, you, my genitals, and your genitals. We are all involved in coming together. Welcome, Paul and Tanya. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Kim. Thanks for
Pleasure to be here. Honor.
So we wanted to hear all about your experiences with Lingam massage. So had you guys ever done anything like this, like a dedicated cock massage before you studied this?
Not at all, no.
No.
Okay. All right.
Like just quickly finish it and that was it.
Right. So not a whole lot of time or dedication, just enough to get the job done.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, we didn't understand any depth to sex and, foreplay and all that sort of stuff. So.
And you said that even when you began, when you came into this work, that your relationship itself was nearly finished.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we had this disconnect and we just didn't know what was going on. It started when we conceived our second. So that was roughly 3 years of it being pretty bad, and just kind of getting worse and not really knowing what to do. Like we both just had no idea what it was. And then bam, I think around this time last year you were talking about the aphrodisiac of truth, and you put that podcast out, and I remember thinking, I always tell the truth, I don't really need to listen to this, but I'm going to listen to it anyway. And I listened to it and I realized that there was something that I needed to share with Paul. So I did, and then he had a share to tell me. And then his shares kind of kept going. And it was funny because in your first salon, it's about, clearing the glass, and how you say that the splotches of mud just thicken up that clear plane of glass. And that's kind of what happened. And we felt it on an energetic level, but consciously we had no idea what it was until we went through your salon and started to realize that it was all these hidden truths. They weren't necessarily lies, but it was, just not being honest with each other.
Or open, honest and open. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think it's part of you don't know what you don't know, or you can feel something is amiss and then it's articulated and you're like, right, okay, that's what it is. That's what's missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me about then your forays into Lingam massage. So you hadn't done something like this before. You decided to give it a go, like everything in the salon. And what were your experiences with it, both of you, both as the giver and the recipient?
One major thing for me was because I suffer with low self-worth. So to have Tanya put that kind of focus on me and give me that attention and such love, it's just very warming and connecting and helps me to feel valuable. It's helped me in a major way in that sense. I guess also release of stuck energy as well. Generally, when we do the massages, we both kind of set an intention at the start of, what we want to get from it, or just how we want to be in the moment. And it's generally about just, being open, just being present and feeling it. There is a lot to gain, including like sensations in different parts of my cock, and around it. The more that Tanya focuses on certain areas, they start to sort of come to life and gain feeling where they have been previously quite numb. Yeah, I guess it has helped with hardness overall, harder erections.
And thickness as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. As I've heard you say with a certain example, yeah, it's like the more attention and love that you give that part, the more it grows and, flourishes. So hardens too, yeah.
What you focus on grows, the old spiritual adage.
Yeah.
How did you notice your confidence in your daily life? So now that you mentioned self-worth, and I always talk about the genitals being the essence of the person, and the more that we love them and adore them and, slather worship onto them, we can actually change how we, then the recipient, present in the world, how we interact in the world. And often when I've done retreats with people and I get to see these exercises in real time, right? The results, and the guys will be walking differently. They'll be leading with their cocks, and they'll talk about it. They're like, I feel like a new man, because their woman has just been just adoring their cocks. So what did you notice then going out into the world post these massages, or having had a few of them?
That's a good call. And I can resonate with that and say that, it does help with my confidence, and also just feeling more comfortable within my own skin, more relaxed, more open. As Tanya mentioned, we had a lot to share that we'd been hiding. I've been very closed off for almost my whole life, so it has opened me up a lot, and the truth sharing, but then the massages as well, just with the attention there. So, yeah.
All right. Anything that you'd like to say, Tanya, what your experience was in giving the massage?
So I guess it helped me to connect with Paul on a deeper level. It's very intimate, and it's kind of just like, here I am, and this is me. And so it can feel, very vulnerable for the person that's receiving. But yeah, to hold that space and to be there together, it's very intimate, very vulnerable in a good way. Yeah, I feel like exploring Paul's cock more has, made me understand him better. And like you say as well, that it's an extension of the man, and it's a separate entity from from him as well. And I'm starting to understand that part of when you talk about that. It's really good. It's nice. 1 hour goes really quickly when you first go into the salon and you're having, like you say, the junk food sex, and then you go and you're like, oh, go and give a 1 hour massage, and you're like, what? And when you first do it, it can really, the time just goes. It's incredible. Really powerful.
Yeah,
so
there's zone that takes over, I find, in these deep, intimate acts, and especially when we have a sense of reverence with them, that hours can go by. And when I first talk to people about even the notion of 3-hour sex dates, often they're incredulous at the beginning, like, you've got to be kidding, like 3 hours of sex. And then afterward, they're like, yeah, it went by in the blink of an eye. Usually not on the first time, but after practicing and incorporating these techniques, everything changes.
Yeah. And like I can notice, at the start, when I was first giving the Lingam massages, there wasn't a lot of feeling there for Paul. It was really numb. And yeah, slowly, like, we noticed that his erection was growing as I was massaging, like, not just with the faster, touches, but also just with the slower ones, the slower strokes that you showed us. So eventually over time it just got better. We did slack off a little bit with the massages for a couple of months there. And then when we went back, we noticed that that there was some feeling missing, but not completely gone from, when we first started. And yeah, that really made us realize how important they are.
And how often in your peak were you doing them?
When throughout the salon, we were doing them pretty regularly, weren't we? Because
we were.
Yeah.
I'd say at least weekly.
Like at least giving one to each other a week, like one lingam massage, one yoni massage.
Yeah.
And you roughly spend an hour doing it.
Yeah, minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum. What was the maximum?
Oh, I'm not sure. Because it all just blurred into one.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say about lingam massage from either of you?
Yeah, something about the eye contact as well is really beautiful for just the connection between us both, and helps just open me up a lot more. And yeah, I find myself to be becoming very vulnerable when receiving the massages. And it feels like a very sort of safe space to open up and just let whatever must come up, and yeah, it's like a very freeing kind of feeling. So yeah, they're really special, and there's a lot to gain from them. And yeah, we can see the difference now between when you keep up the practice and when you don't, and yeah, just how beneficial they are. So
when you said things come up, like let things come up, what sort of things would come up for you?
Like sometimes some truths that I'd kind of hidden away, maybe years ago, and then I've just locked them away and not thought about them. And then, some of the things that I came clean to Tanya about, things like that might come up during the massage, or just, sometimes, you just feel like you got some stuck energy that just releases and you open up.
It's like a physical glass clearing. We talk about the glass clearing, the aphrodisiac of truth, the idea of honesty that's cleansing the space and making more room for us to exist. And the same thing's happening with the genitals with yoni and lingam massage, is that we're clearing space, we're releasing old stuff that's there so that we can occupy our genitals in a free and clear way.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you so much. I so appreciate you guys sharing your experiences with us.
Yeah, pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Conscious Lingam and Yoni massage are incredible tools to clear space, release blockages, deepen your intimate connection, and amplify your orgasmic power and pleasure. In my Coming Together for Couples Salon, I walk you through my step-by-step guides for giving these massages to each other. You'll also learn block clearing, communication techniques to remain open to each other, even in the hardest of circumstances, as well as tantric and Taoist practices, my full Orgasmopedia of how to achieve a multitude of different orgasms, and much more. You can sign up for the salon and check out the free video preview series in the link below. Come one, come all. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already, subscribe and also leave a review. And send someone else the gift of a healthy libido and an off-the-charts love life by sharing this episode with them. We'll be back next week, and in the meantime, many happy orgasms.